going to keep focusing enforcement resources on actual threats to our security. Felons, not families. Criminals, not children. Gang members, not a mom who's working hard to provide for her kids.
The president outlined a three-step plan to tackle immigration. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jim Reek.
And I'm Brittany Pieper. Thanks for joining us. First, part of his plan was to reinforce the border and add additional resources to stop illegal crossings and speed the deportation of those who do cross over. Second, he plans to make it easier and faster for high-skilled and educated immigrants to stay and contribute to the economy. And third, to help immigrants already living in the U.S. to live with no fear of deportation. This means immigrants who have lived here for 5 years can pay taxes and will be able to, as President Obama put it, come out of the shadows. As you can imagine, there are strong reactions on both sides of the issue.
KOMU8's Meredith Miller joins us here in the studio. She has been talking to young voters tonight. Meredith, what are they saying?
Well, I spoke with members of college Republicans and college Democrats to get their views on immigration reform. The college Democrats are in favor of the reform to help those undocumented in the United States and looking for jobs, while the college Republicans, along with many other Republicans in the United States, do not see this as the right solution for immigration issues.
I think it's a great thing that the Obama administration is doing to try to get immigration to become a bigger issue and to let people that are not being brought into the United States to have the ability to be in the United States to work in the United States.
It's just going to leave a whole bunch of uncertainty for those that it impacts. For the 5 million illegal immigrants in this country right now that would impact, it's just going to further complicate their situation, and it's going to get nothing beneficial done.
Now, as expected, many prominent Republicans on Capitol Hill have already spoken out against President Obama's plan. Obama did not give a timeline for rolling out his reform.
A patient at Mercy Jefferson Hospital in Crystal City near St. Louis has tested negative for Ebola. The woman recently returned from Liberia, and officials say she was in West Africa assisting with the Ebola crisis, but was not in direct contact with patients and is considered to be low risk for the infection. Jefferson County medical officials have been monitoring her daily, and this morning she came down with a fever and was taken to an isolation unit at an off-site surgical center.
Classes are canceled tomorrow at Florida State University after this morning's shooting. 3 people were wounded. It would have been 4 if not for an unusual item in a student's backpack. Jason Durfus had just checked out 3 books from the library when the gunman opened fire. He was about 50 feet away. When he got home, he discovered 2 of his 3 books had bullet holes in them, potentially saving his life.
Columbia police say they destroyed a pipe bomb after catching a man accused of kidnapping and domestic assault. According to police, 50-year-old Gary Mitzler waited in the trunk of his wife's car for her to come out of her workplace on South Keene Street. Investigators say he forced her into the passenger seat and drove around for an hour and a half. Police say they found a pipe bomb, noose, zip ties, and duct tape in the trunk of the car. Police say the bomb was active when they destroyed it. They also say Mitzler is in custody and his arrest is pending.
Columbia police are investigating an afternoon bank robbery on the city's north side. Police were sent to the Central Bank of Missouri on Rangeline about 1 p.m. Police say the robber walked in, wanted money, implied he had a gun. The teller then gave him the money and he ran off.
We left the scene there. They were still collecting any type of evidence that they could from it. They were also looking to collect surveillance video in the area, if there was surveillance video at the robbery, or excuse me, at the bank, and then if there was any surveillance video in the surrounding businesses.
The man left the bank on a bicycle heading south on Rangeline.
MU Healthcare says it will not hire nicotine users starting in January. The new nicotine-free hiring policy exempts current employees, but all new applicants will be asked if they use nicotine products. It also adds nicotine to pre-employment drug screenings. An MU adjunct law professor says the policy is not discriminatory because there's no constitutional right to smoke. The hospitals have been smoke-free inside and out since 2006, and now they move on to employees.
We want to make sure that we're leading by example, and so we're creating a culture of health here, and our employees will take the lead on that.
Banned nicotine products include e-cigarettes, cigars, and chewing tobacco.
Columbia Public Schools are now offering gym classes online.
It sounds a little different. Hickman and Rockbridge High Schools have an online program that allows students to get their physical education credits at home. KOMU8's Jen Croft is in the studio to tell us why some parents are a bit skeptical of the program.
The program, called Online PE, is an interactive gym class that uses the internet to electronically monitor a student's physical activity. Students can watch video demonstrations on the site and record themselves videos doing the exercises and turn them into their instructors. Students are required to use equipment like dumbbells, jump ropes, and a heart rate monitor. The course was designed for students with physical limitations or students with a heavy course load who may not be able to participate in traditional gym classes, but some parents say they're still skeptical.
Gym is one of those areas where you cannot learn online. You have to be active. You have to be out there getting healthy.
The program will finish its first semester with Columbia Public Schools this December.
Columbia schools are also trying to keep up with technology trends across the country. All students in the district from 5th grade through 12th grade will have their own iPads or tablets by 2021. The district started the plan with 5th graders this year, giving each of them an iPad. The 5th graders will keep those iPads until high school when they get a new one. Teachers and staff hope this will improve technology skills.
But I also think it's more about the practicality of making sure that our students are prepared as they move through the public school system and then ultimately as they graduate to be able to have the technology skills that they need to be successful.
The money for the project comes from the district's operating fund.
Columbia Child Care facilities may need to make adjustments so they can accept federal grant money. Congress renewed the Child Care and Development Block Grant, which helps low-income families afford quality child care. The legislation will require more training for child care workers and allow families to use the subsidy even if their income changes. Director of Tiger Tot Central Location says the subsidies will help with their daily operations.
Those subsidies go to help pay for the electric bills, the teacher salaries, the food we put on the table, the educational opportunities that we give the kids.
The grant also requires mandatory background checks for all child care workers. Well, it definitely felt like winter out still, but hopefully we've got a bit of a warm-up on the way for the weekend. Maya?
Yes, a bit of a warm-up is right for the weekend, but first let's take a look at the satellite and radar. As you can see here, we are dealing with nothing. You see the Midwest, look at there. We don't have anything by way of precipitation or cloud cover, and that's pretty much good news, but it may change moving into tomorrow. So currently we're at a temperature of 30 degrees, clear skies, dew point at 17 degrees. And let's take a look at what I have for you coming up next. Chilly night tonight, warmer Friday, but precipitation chances will increase moving into the weekend, but I'll have more on that coming up just after the break.
It's time to start thinking of the holiday travel plans. We'll tell you what you need to know to avoid traffic once you get on the road.
Plus, a Japanese woman reported her husband dead. That's just the beginning of the story.